What if a near-death experience revealed a message that could change the future of the entire world? This is Samantha's story, a woman who crossed into the afterlife and returned with a prophecy that could save humanity. But here's the big question. Will we listen to her warning in time, or face the consequences of ignoring it? Stay with us as we explore her incredible journey and the message that could shape our future. If you found Samantha's story inspiring, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with your friends and family. Your support helps us spread important messages like hers. And for more captivating stories and insights, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together we can make a difference. Samantha Miller lived an ordinary life, filled with simple joys and daily struggles. She resided in the heart of Denver, Colorado, where she spent her days teaching art to children. Instilling in them a love for creativity was her passion, a gift she had cherished since childhood. However, beneath her vibrant exterior lay a painful truth. For years, she had battled chronic pain that shadowed every joyful moment, draining her energy and dimming her spirit. It felt like a relentless storm, casting dark clouds over her life. Despite the love of her family and friends, Samantha often felt alone, disconnected from the very world she tried to inspire. During these moments of despair, she began to question the meaning of life and whether something greater existed. Her faith, once a comforting anchor, started to waver under the weight of her suffering. Then, one fateful day in 2012, everything changed. While teaching a lively class of eager young artists, Samantha felt the all-too-familiar sensation of an impending seizure. She fought to maintain her composure, but as the classroom spun around her, darkness engulfed her vision, and she crumpled to the ground. In those final moments, as her body slipped away, Samantha experienced an unexpected sense of calm wash over her. It was as if the chaos of her life faded into silence, leaving only a tranquil void. She was no longer bound by her pain. She felt utterly free, and then she crossed over. What awaited her on the other side was beyond anything she could have ever imagined. As she surrendered to the darkness, she found herself wrapped in a warm, ethereal light that shimmered and pulsed with life. Colors she had never seen danced around her, and an overwhelming sense of peace filled her entire being. "Where am I?" she thought, lost in this profound stillness. But there was no need for questions. The answers were on the way. As her surroundings shifted, she realized she was not alone. Standing before her was a figure radiating warmth and love. God. In that divine presence, she felt all her pain and sorrow dissolve. God smiled at her, and with that smile came a depth of understanding she had never experienced. She knew she was cherished, valued, and had a purpose beyond her comprehension. Yet just as the embrace of peace wrapped around her, a shift occurred. God's expression turned serious, and he spoke, "Samantha, your journey has just begun. I have a message for you, a prophecy about humanity's future. It is crucial that you return and share what you will witness." In that instant, time seemed to stand still. A vision unfolded before her, showing a world on the brink of transformation, filled with turmoil yet bursting with hope. She saw the date October 2024, a pivotal moment where humanity would face a crossroads. The urgency of the message pressed on her heart, intertwining with the love she felt in that sacred space. This prophecy was not just a message, it was a call to action. A chance to awaken humanity to the changes needed for survival and peace. As the visions swirled around her, Samantha understood she had a mission. But with that realization came a choice. Would she return to Earth, carrying the weight of this truth, or would she remain in the bliss of the afterlife? Samantha Miller grew up in the vibrant city of Denver, Colorado, where the breathtaking Rockies and lush pine trees were her constant companions. From a young age, she found joy in nature, often seeking refuge in nearby parks. The beauty of the mountains and the shimmering lakes ignited a passion for art within her, inspiring her to sketch and paint. She would spend hours outdoors, capturing the stunning landscapes and letting her imagination flow freely. Her family was a close-knit unit, filled with love and laughter. Her parents, warm and supportive, encouraged her artistic endeavors, proudly displaying her creations throughout their home. Samantha's childhood was rich with simple pleasures. Family picnics, camping trips under twinkling stars, and lazy afternoons spent creating masterpieces in her backyard. It was a time filled with laughter and hope, where the world seemed bright and full of possibilities. However, as Samantha entered her teenage years, shadows began to cast over her life. The first signs of chronic pain emerged like dark clouds on the horizon. Initially, she dismissed it as mere growing pains, but as the years went on, the discomfort became more intense. Countless doctor visits and endless tests followed, with each diagnosis bringing more uncertainty and fear. Every surgery she endured felt like another blow to her spirit. With each passing year, Samantha's vibrant world became increasingly confined by her physical limitations. What once had been carefree adventures turned into a constant battle against pain. Joyful hikes in the mountains faded into cherished memories. She felt trapped in her own body, watching as her friends thrived while she struggled to keep pace. As the pain intensified, so did her feelings of isolation. The emotional turmoil was often overwhelming. She tried to maintain a positive outlook, putting on a brave face for her students and family, but inside she felt lost and disconnected. Nights were particularly difficult. She would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, her mind racing with thoughts of despair. The more she fought against her pain, the more it seemed to take control. Amidst her struggles, she began to drift away from her spiritual beliefs. What had once offered her comfort and guidance now felt distant and unreachable. Questions swirled in her mind. Why was this happening to her? Was there a purpose to her suffering? The faith that had once sustained her began to fade, leaving her feeling adrift in an ocean of uncertainty. Despite these challenges, Samantha clung to her love for art and her passion for teaching. Each day in the classroom reminded her of her purpose. She poured her heart into her students, helping them express their feelings and creativity through art. Yet even during these joyful moments, the shadow of her pain loomed close, a constant reminder of the battles she faced. Samantha's life was a tapestry woven with threads of beauty and struggle, joy and sorrow. Yet, deep within her, a flicker of hope remained, waiting for the right moment to ignite into something extraordinary. The day dawned like any other for Samantha, a seemingly ordinary Saturday in 2012, but it would soon spiral into a life-altering event. She awoke in her cozy Denver home, sunlight spilling through the window and casting a warm glow across her familiar surroundings. It was a day she typically cherished, eager to explore the great outdoors. The majestic mountains surrounding her city always called to her, promising solace and a connection to nature that she adored. However, on this particular morning, a heavy cloud hung over her spirit as she sensed an unsettling feeling in her chest. Despite the discomfort, Samantha pushed the unease aside, determined to focus on the vibrant world outside. After a quick breakfast, she decided to take a walk in the nearby park, hoping the fresh air would uplift her spirits. As she strolled along the winding path, she watched the leaves rustle in the gentle breeze, listened to the laughter of children playing nearby, and heard the distant barking of dogs. Nature had always been her refuge, a place where her heart felt light. But as the day progressed, a storm brewed within her. For years, Samantha had grappled with chronic pain, a relentless companion that shadowed her every step. It had forced her to develop resilience, but today, an unusual heaviness pressed down on her. While sitting on a park bench, soaking in the moment, she felt the unmistakable signs of an impending seizure creeping in. Panic surged through her as she tried to fight it, fully aware of the devastation it could bring. Suddenly, the world around her began to blur, colors swirling into a hazy fog. Before she could grasp what was happening, darkness swallowed her. The last thing she remembered was the concerned faces of passers-by rushing to her side, their voices fading into silence. When Samantha finally regained consciousness, she found herself in a hospital, disoriented and confused. The stark white walls felt imposing, and the beeping machines created a chaotic symphony around her. Panic surged within her as she struggled to make sense of her surroundings. As doctors rushed in and out, she could sense the gravity of her situation. Her body was failing, and she was teetering on the edge of life and death. In those last moments on Earth, Samantha experienced an overwhelming wave of acceptance. She had faced pain and suffering many times before, but this time she embraced her mortality. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she closed her eyes, letting go of the fear that had plagued her for so long. Memories of her life rushed through her mind. Childhood adventures, the warmth of family laughter, and the peacefulness of her moments spent in nature. As darkness began to envelop her, she felt herself drifting away from her body, enveloped in a profound calm. It was as if she were being cradled in a soft embrace, the turmoil of her earthly struggles fading into oblivion. A gentle yet powerful voice whispered to her, promising a journey beyond the pain and chaos of life. This was not an end. but rather a transformative transition into something greater, something she had always sought but never fully understood. In that fleeting moment, Samantha realized she was not alone. The acceptance of her fate brought a sense of freedom she had longed for, and with that, she surrendered, allowing herself to be drawn into the unknown, ready to discover what lay beyond the veil of life. As Samantha drifted further away from her earthly existence, an extraordinary lightness enveloped her. It was as if she had shed the heavy burdens that had long weighed her down, freeing herself from the chronic pain and emotional turmoil that had clung to her like shadows. The sensation was exhilarating, and with each passing moment, she felt herself gliding into a mystical, silvery void, a realm that felt both familiar and astonishingly new. In this space, time seemed to dissolve. There were no clocks ticking away precious moments, no reminders of appointments or obligations. Instead, an infinite expanse invited her to let go of all her earthly worries. As she fully embraced this transition, she realized she was free from the limitations of her body and the anguish that had often plagued her. It was an indescribable joy coursing through her being, like a gentle breeze sweeping away every trace of discomfort. Emerging from the silvery void, Samantha found herself in a breathtaking ethereal landscape that defied the bounds of her imagination. Colors she had never seen illuminated her surroundings, each hue pulsating with life. Fields of flowers shimmered like gemstones, their petals dancing in a soft, golden light. Tall trees swayed gracefully, their leaves a brilliant emerald, glistening as if adorned with tiny stars. The air was filled with sweet fragrances, a blend of blooming blossoms, and something she couldn't quite identify but instantly recognized as home. In this vibrant world, sounds formed a harmonious symphony, like a soothing melody that resonated deep within her soul. It was a blend of laughter, whispers, and soft breezes rustling through the leaves. There was no pain, no fear, only an overwhelming sense of peace that wrapped around her like a warm blanket. Here, she felt truly alive, and the contrast to her previous suffering was staggering. Samantha took a moment to absorb it all, feeling the joy and relief bubble up within her. As she wandered through this beautiful landscape, an emotional release flooded over her, a tide of pent-up feelings that had been stifled for years. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but these were tears of joy, of liberation. In this sacred space, she understood that she was enveloped in unconditional love, a love that transcended any human experience. It embraced her completely, washing away her doubts and fears, filling her heart with warmth and acceptance. In this place, there were no judgments, no expectations, only the pure essence of love. She felt it from every direction, as if the very air pulsed with an energy that was nurturing and restorative. The freedom from her earthly struggles transformed into an awareness of her true self, a profound realization that she was more than the sum of her pain and experiences. In that moment, Samantha knew she was part of something far greater than herself, a cosmic dance of souls intertwined in a tapestry of existence. She felt connected to every being in this realm, as if they were all part of a collective heart beating in unison. Each breath filled her with light, each heartbeat resonated with joy. Samantha understood she had crossed over to the afterlife, a realm of boundless possibilities where her spirit could soar freely, unhindered by the pains of her past. With newfound clarity, she embraced this journey, ready to explore the wonders that lay ahead and discover the profound truths awaiting her in this magnificent place. As Samantha stood in the vibrant ethereal landscape, a soft glow began to fill the space around her, casting a gentle radiance that enveloped her in warmth. It was unlike anything she had ever experienced. It was as if the very essence of love and light had taken form. The air thickened with an electric anticipation, her heart racing as she felt an undeniable presence approaching. Then she saw him, God. He appeared as a figure of indescribable beauty, radiating a brilliant light that shimmered with countless colors. This light didn't just illuminate the space, it penetrated her very soul. Samantha felt an overwhelming sense of peace wash over her, as if every worry and doubt she had ever harbored were being swept away by his mere presence. Instinctively, she knelt, feeling unworthy yet profoundly safe in his light. "Samantha, my beloved child," God spoke, his voice resonating like a soothing melody that wrapped around her heart. It was a voice filled with love, understanding, and warmth, everything she had ever sought. "I have seen your struggles and heard your cries. You are never alone." At that moment, all the pain she had carried throughout her life surged to the surface, a wave of emotions crashing over her like a tide. But instead of despair, she felt comfort as God continued to speak. He gently acknowledged the hardships she had faced, the chronic pain that had once defined her existence, and the emotional turmoil that often left her feeling isolated. Every tear you shed, every prayer you whispered, were significant, he reassured her, the light around him shimmering with the power of his words. Your pain has not gone unnoticed. It has shaped you, forged your spirit, and deepened your capacity for love and compassion. As he spoke, images began to flow through Samantha's mind. Snapshots of her life filled with laughter, joy, heartache, and resilience. She saw moments of simple beauty. The laughter shared with friends, the quiet mornings spent in the sunlit garden, and the warmth of her family gathered around her. Each memory interwove with struggles, the shadows of doubt, and the longing for peace, illuminating the extraordinary tapestry of her life. Look at how you have blossomed, God said, gesturing toward the vivid memories as they danced before her. Your spirit reflects the love you have given to others, and every struggle you faced only served to strengthen your heart. Overcome with emotion, Samantha realized that her journey, with all its ups and downs, was not in vain. Each difficult moment had contributed to the woman she had become, and she began to see the beauty within her pain, a profound lesson in resilience and love. Your life is a gift, Samantha, God continued, his voice wrapping around her like a protective cocoon. Every experience you've had has led you to this moment, where you can fully embrace your true self. You are here not just to endure, but to shine your light into the world. In that sacred space, she felt an overwhelming sense of purpose, a call to embrace her journey fully and share her story with others. The understanding that her struggles were part of a greater plan filled her heart with hope and strength. As Samantha stood before God, she felt transformed, her spirit soaring with newfound clarity. This divine encounter was more than a meeting. It was a revelation, a reminder that she was loved unconditionally, that her life mattered, and that she was exactly where she was meant to be. As the luminous light surrounding God began to shift, Samantha felt an overwhelming anticipation in the air. It was as if the universe itself held its breath, waiting for something significant to unfold. Suddenly, the vibrant landscape around her faded, transforming into a stark and unsettling vision of Earth. Before her eyes, she saw a world teetering on the edge of chaos. Images flashed by, a cacophony of protests, heated arguments, and divisions tearing at the fabric of society. Communities fractured by anger, fear, and misunderstanding painted a grim picture. Then the vision shifted again, revealing alarming scenes of environmental devastation. Wildfires consuming forests, floods swallowing cities, and nature crying out for help. It was as if the earth itself was bearing witness to humanity's struggles, reflecting back their deepest flaws. This is what awaits you, my child, God said, his voice resonating with gravity. October 2024 marks a critical turning point for humanity, a moment when choices will ripple through time, affecting generations to come. Samantha's heart raced as she absorbed the weight of what lay ahead. The urgency of the message felt palpable, wrapping around her like a heavy cloak. God continued, humanity stands at a crossroads. They must confront their flaws and embrace unity, or they will face devastating consequences. In her vision, she saw individuals choosing to stand together, bridging gaps of misunderstanding and hatred. Yet, she also saw those clinging to division, letting fear dictate their actions. The contrast struck her deeply, filling her with sorrow for the paths that might remain untaken if change didn't come soon. Your world is capable of great compassion, love, and innovation, God reassured her, his tone shifting to one of hope. But this potential can only be realized if humanity chooses to put aside their differences and work together. They must heal the wounds they have inflicted upon one another and the earth. Samantha understood the weight of the message she had to carry back. God urged her to awaken humanity to this impending reality. You must share what you have witnessed, he instructed, the glow surrounding him intensifying with emphasis. You will be a beacon of hope, urging others to recognize their power to change the course of history. But how can I do this? She asked, feeling the enormity of the task set before her. You will speak your truth, share your experiences, and inspire others to look within. Remind them that their choices matter, that unity is possible, and that love can heal even the deepest divides. Your voice will resonate in the hearts of those ready to listen. As these words settled in her heart, Samantha felt a deep stirring of purpose igniting her soul. She realized her near-death experience was not just about her transformation, it was about the collective awakening of humanity. But what if they don't believe me? She wondered, doubt creeping in. Faith often begins with a single voice, God replied gently. In a world desperate for truth, your story will find its way to those who need to hear it. Trust in the power of your journey. In that moment, Samantha felt a surge of strength within her, a connection to something far greater than herself. She was being called to action, to serve as a vessel for this vital message. The urgency of the moment pressed upon her, a tangible reminder of the responsibility she now held. Remember, my child, you are never alone in this endeavor. Your light will guide others, and together they can create a future filled with hope and unity, God reassured her. With her heart swelling with purpose, Samantha knew she was being entrusted with a divine mission. As she prepared to return to her earthly life, she felt the weight of the message settle deep within her, a prophecy meant to awaken humanity to the necessary changes before it was too late. And with that, a gentle light began to envelop her, pulling her back from the ethereal realm and into the reality of her life, ready to share the truth she had encountered. As the gentle light began to fade, Samantha found herself graced with the presence of another divine figure, an angel whose very being radiated wisdom and grace. This was Gabriel, a celestial being enveloped in a glow of warmth and love. Instantly, she felt an overwhelming sense of peace, as if all her worries were washed away in his luminous presence. "Welcome, Samantha," Gabriel said, his voice a melodious whisper that resonated deep within her soul. "I am here to guide you through the water of life, a sacred journey that will provide you with profound insights into your mission." Intrigued and filled with a sense of anticipation, Samantha followed Gabriel as he gestured toward a shimmering river nearby. The water sparkled with an ethereal glow, reflecting a symphony of colors that danced in the light. It was mesmerizing, inviting her to immerse herself in its life-giving essence. "As you step into these waters, you will experience the interconnectedness of all souls," Gabriel explained, his tone imbued with kindness. "This journey is essential for you to understand your place in the universe. You will learn how love and healing shape humanity's future." With a mixture of excitement and apprehension, Samantha approached the water of life. As she stepped in, a warm wave enveloped her, wrapping her in a comforting embrace. Instantly, the pain and struggles she had endured faded away, replaced by a profound understanding of the love that binds all of creation together. In this sacred place, you will witness the threads of love weaving through every soul, Gabriel continued, guiding her deeper into the experience. Recognize that your journey is not solely your own. It is intertwined with the journeys of countless others. Every joy, every sorrow, every act of kindness contributes to the greater tapestry of humanity. As Samantha moved through the water, vibrant visions unfolded before her eyes. She saw moments of connection, friends comforting each other, families supporting one another through tough times, and even strangers performing small, selfless acts that changed lives. Each scene pulsed with energy, reminding her of the transformative power of love. "These moments are what you are meant to inspire in others," Gabriel said gently. "Healing is not just a personal journey. It is a collective experience. When one soul heals, it resonates throughout the fabric of existence, uplifting everyone." Overwhelmed by realization, Samantha felt a rush of clarity wash over her. The pain she had endured was not pointless. It had prepared her to share this crucial message of healing and unity. "But how can I convey this to others?" she asked, her heart racing with the enormity of her mission. "By living your truth," Gabriel replied, his words wrapping around her like a warm blanket. "Your story will touch hearts and awaken the love within each person you encounter. They will see their own experiences reflected in yours, inspiring them to seek healing and connection." As they continued their journey through the water of life, Samantha felt her heart expanding, filled with love and compassion. "You are a conduit of this love," Gabriel reminded her, his voice both firm and nurturing. "Let it flow through you, for it is the essence of who you are. Embrace your role as a healer, and trust that you possess the strength to guide others toward their own transformations." With each step deeper into the water, she felt lighter, as if the burdens of her past were dissolving. This awakening ignited a fire within her, urging her to step forward and embrace her purpose with unwavering determination. She understood now that her struggles had been essential experiences, shaping her into a beacon of hope. As you prepare to return to your world, remember that the power of love can heal even the deepest wounds, Gabriel said, his voice soothing her spirit. You are never alone on this journey. Divine presence surrounds you, guiding and supporting you. Trust in your mission and in the hearts of those you will touch. With a heart brimming with gratitude and a renewed sense of purpose, Samantha felt ready to embark on her mission. As she emerged from the water of life, she understood that her encounter with Gabriel had equipped her with the insights and strength needed to fulfill her divine calling, to awaken humanity to the power of love, healing, and unity. As Samantha stood in the radiant meadow, the warmth of her loved ones enveloped her like a comforting blanket. This was a moment she had longed for, a reunion filled with the love she had missed so deeply. Her heart swelled with joy as she gazed at the familiar faces, her grandmother, the embodiment of kindness, and her dear friend Emily, whose laughter had once brightened her darkest days. "Samantha, my darling," her grandmother said, stepping forward with open arms. "It's such a blessing to see you again. We've been waiting for you to join us in this beautiful place." The tender embrace sent waves of warmth through Samantha, igniting memories of her childhood and the love that had shaped her. "I've missed you both so much," Samantha exclaimed, her voice trembling with emotion. "It feels so good to be here with you." As she took in their presence, a profound sense of belonging washed over her. It was a feeling she had craved during her struggles on Earth, where loneliness often overshadowed her spirit. "We've been watching over you," Emily said, her eyes sparkling like the stars. "You have been through so much, and now you're here, surrounded by love and light. You have a mission to fulfill." Samantha felt a mixture of joy and uncertainty. Being with her loved ones ignited a longing within her, a desire to stay in this realm of pure love where pain and suffering were but distant memories. "But I don't want to leave you again," she confessed, her heart heavy at the thought. "This is a sacred moment, Samantha," her grandmother replied, her voice filled with warmth and wisdom. "You have a vital mission on Earth. Your experiences, your struggles, they have shaped you into a beacon of hope. They are not in vain." Samantha's heart ached at the thought of leaving this blissful state. "I feel so at peace here, but what if I can't make a difference?" she questioned, doubt creeping into her mind. "What if my message falls on deaf ears?" "You have more strength than you realize," Emily reassured her, stepping closer. "You are a light in a world filled with darkness. By sharing your journey, you'll inspire others, reminding them of their own power to heal and connect." Tears glistened in Samantha's eyes as she absorbed their words. The thought of returning to a world filled with pain was daunting, yet being with her loved ones instilled a sense of purpose within her. "I want to make a difference, to help others find their way back to love." Her grandmother nodded, a proud smile lighting up her face. "Then you must choose to return, my dear. You have the ability to inspire hope, to remind others that love can conquer even the darkest moments. Your journey on Earth is far from over. It is just beginning." As the meadow began to shimmer with light, signaling her impending choice, Samantha took a deep breath, grounding herself in the moment. She understood that the love she felt from her family would always accompany her, a guiding force in her life. "I will return," she declared, her voice steady and filled with resolve. "I'll share my story, my experience, and everything I've learned. I'll be a voice for those who need hope." Her family wrapped her in a warm embrace, a final farewell that was both heart-wrenching and beautiful. "We are always with you," her grandmother whispered, her voice echoing in Samantha's heart. "Go forth with love, knowing you carry our spirits with you." As she looked one last time at the faces she adored, Samantha felt a surge of energy as the meadow began to dissolve into a brilliant light. She knew her decision was the right one. It was time to return to Earth, to embrace her purpose, and to awaken the love and healing that lay dormant in the hearts of others. As she was drawn back toward the light, Samantha felt an overwhelming sense of peace envelop her. The memories of her loved ones would forever guide her, infusing her journey with strength and purpose. With love as her compass, she was ready to face the world again, equipped to inspire change and hope in those who needed it most. Samantha's eyes slowly opened to the sterile brightness of the hospital room, the soft hum of machines, and the muffled voices of medical staff. The world she had left behind now felt foreign, like a distant memory she had momentarily escaped. But she had returned, and as she blinked away the blur from her vision, a calm sense of purpose settled in her chest. She was no longer the same person who had left this world. Her heart was filled with clarity, her mind with the certainty of what she had to do. The first thing she noticed was the absence of pain. For the first time in years, her body felt weightless, free from the constant ache that had worn her down for so long. She tried to sit up, and in that moment, the nurse who had been quietly checking her monitors gasped. "She's awake! Doctor, come quickly!" the nurse shouted, her eyes wide with disbelief. Within seconds, a rush of doctors filled the room, their faces a mixture of astonishment and curiosity. Samantha could hear them murmuring amongst themselves, flipping through her medical records. "This is remarkable. Her condition was critical. We didn't expect her to regain consciousness so soon, let alone sit up," one of the doctors said, shaking his head in awe. But Samantha wasn't surprised. She knew the miracle she had experienced, and more importantly, she knew why she had been brought back. She had a mission, a divine message that could not be ignored. It was time for her to share it. "I need to speak," Samantha said, her voice quiet but steady, gaining strength with each word. "There's something I have to tell you." As the doctors continued their examinations, they couldn't ignore the certainty in her tone. Something about the way she spoke made them pause, made them listen. Though they were trained to find logical explanations for everything, they couldn't quite explain the transformation unfolding before their eyes. Samantha's recovery was nothing short of miraculous. Over the next few days, as she regained her physical strength, Samantha felt a deeper strength emerging within her, one that came not from her body but from her spirit. The memories of her journey beyond life were as clear as day. Every word spoken by God, every vision shown to her about humanity's future, and every moment of love and light in the afterlife. She remembered it all. She knew her return wasn't for herself. It was for the world. God's message had been clear. Humanity was standing at a crossroads, facing challenges that could determine its future. Social divisions, environmental disasters, and moral crises were reaching a tipping point, and if people didn't open their hearts to love, unity, and compassion, the future would be grim. When she was finally discharged from the hospital, Samantha didn't waste a moment. She reached out to her closest family and friends first, sharing the story of her near-death experience. She spoke of the visions she had seen, the warnings she had been given, and the overwhelming sense of peace and love that awaited those who embraced a higher path. But it wasn't always easy. "Samantha, are you sure this wasn't just some vivid dream?" her childhood friend Clara asked skeptically, her eyes searching Samantha's face for any hint of doubt. "It wasn't a dream, Clara," Samantha replied firmly, but with kindness. "I was there. I saw it all. The beauty, the love, and the warnings. God showed me what's coming. We have a choice to make, and it's up to us to change our course." The conviction in her voice silenced any further questions. People could sense the truth in her words, even if they didn't fully understand it. As she began to speak more openly about her experience, more and more people gathered to listen. Her story spread, not through grand speeches or media coverage, but through word of mouth, one heart at a time. Samantha didn't have the polished charisma of a seasoned speaker, but what she had was authenticity. She spoke from her soul, and that's what drew people in. Each time she shared her experience, she emphasized the core message: humanity must unite in love. The prophecy she had been shown wasn't about fear, but about hope. It was a call to action, a chance for people to rise above their differences and come together for the sake of their shared future. "The future isn't set in stone," Samantha would say at the end of each talk. "What I saw was a warning, but it's not too late. We have the power to change our path, to choose love, to choose unity, but we have to act now. God gave us free will, and it's time we use it to build a better world, for ourselves and for the generations to come." Her words resonated deeply with those who heard them. People who had once been skeptical began to reconsider their perspectives. Communities that had been divided by politics or religion started to seek common ground. Samantha's message wasn't just about spiritual awakening. It was about real, tangible change. And slowly, that change was beginning to happen. As Samantha stood before a small gathering at a local community center one evening, sharing her story for what felt like the 100th time, she saw something remarkable. A man who had been sitting in the back, his arms crossed and his face skeptical, slowly uncrossed his arms. His eyes softened, and by the time Samantha finished speaking, he was nodding along with the rest of the room. It wasn't about convincing people to believe in her experience. It was about awakening something deeper within them. The truth she shared wasn't hers alone. It was universal. The power of love, the importance of unity, the sacredness of life. These were truths that spoke to every soul, regardless of their background or beliefs. As the applause echoed through the room, Samantha smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude. She knew her journey was far from over, but with every person she reached, every life she touched, the world moved a little closer to the future she had seen in her vision, a future filled with love, peace, and hope. Samantha's journey back to Earth was far more than just a return to life. It was the start of a mission that challenged her in ways she had never imagined. She carried with her the vision and message from God, but sharing it with a world dominated by doubt and skepticism proved to be a daunting task. At first, she spoke to small groups, close friends, and family, hoping that those who knew her best would understand. Some did, moved by her conviction and newfound purpose. But others, despite their love for her, struggled to accept what they couldn't explain. "Samantha, I love you. But do you really expect us to believe this?" her cousin James asked during one such gathering, shaking his head in disbelief. "You were so sick. Maybe it was just the medication, or a dream." Samantha smiled softly, understanding where he was coming from. She had once been a skeptic herself. "I know it sounds unbelievable, James," she said, "but this wasn't a dream. It was real. I wouldn't be here telling you this if I didn't believe with all my heart. What I saw, what I felt, it's something we all need to hear." Her voice carried a quiet confidence that left even the most doubtful family members reconsidering. Samantha wasn't trying to convince them with force or anger. She simply spoke her truth with love and patience, trusting that those who were meant to hear it would. However, outside the circle of loved ones, things weren't as simple. As Samantha began sharing her experience with the wider public, she met strong resistance. Some openly questioned her motives, accusing her of seeking attention or making the story up for financial gain. In online forums, strangers mocked her, labeling her as delusional. It was painful, but she refused to let the negativity deter her from her mission. "This is not about me," Samantha often reminded herself. "It's about the message. The world needs this, whether they believe it or not." In the face of doubt, Samantha's faith in her experience only grew stronger. For every person who ridiculed her, there was someone else whose heart was touched by her story. People who had felt lost or disconnected found comfort in her words. It was as if her encounter with God had given her not only a message, but also the power to reach those who were open to change. One of her earliest supporters was Martha, an elderly woman who had been searching for peace since the death of her husband. After hearing Samantha speak at a local event, Martha approached her with tears in her eyes. "I don't know how to explain it," Martha whispered, "but something about your story, it's what I've been needing to hear. It gives me hope." Thank you moments like these reminded Samantha of her purpose. She wasn't there to convince everyone, only to reach those who were ready to hear the truth. Slowly, her message began to resonate with more people. Those who had been skeptical at first started to see the profound changes in her, a calmness, a peace, and a deep compassion for others that couldn't be ignored. But the journey was far from easy. Samantha knew that building a community around her message would take time, persistence, and unwavering faith. She had to be patient with those who questioned her, understanding that change didn't happen overnight. There were heated debates, especially when she talked about the prophecies she had been shown during her NDE. The vision of humanity standing at a crossroads, facing a choice between love and unity or destruction. "I'm sorry, but this just sounds like fear-mongering," a man once said during a public town hall meeting. "The world's been through tough times before. Why should we believe that this time is any different?" Samantha stood firm but gentle in her response. "I'm not here to scare anyone," she said calmly. "The prophecy wasn't just about danger, it was about hope. We still have a choice. We can decide right now to live differently. It's not about fear, it's about love." Her words were simple, yet they carried a profound weight. The people could sense the authenticity in her tone, the sincerity behind her message. And while not everyone in the room agreed, there were those whose eyes softened, whose hearts opened just a little more. As Samantha continued to share her message, more and more people began to listen. What started as a small group of supporters soon grew into a community, a collective of individuals who believed in the importance of love, unity, and spiritual awakening. Together, they began to take action, organizing events to help those in need, spreading kindness, and encouraging others to open their hearts. Martha became one of Samantha's strongest allies, helping her organize these gatherings and providing a comforting presence for those who were just beginning to understand the significance of the message. Samantha's journey wasn't just about spreading a prophecy. It was about creating real, lasting change in people's lives. And while the skeptics remained, their voices seemed quieter in the face of the growing movement. For every person who doubted her, there were others who felt the undeniable pull of truth in her words. They joined her cause, not out of fear, but out of a shared desire for something better. A world where love, unity, and understanding reigned over division and destruction. Samantha knew that her mission would never be without its challenges, but she also knew that she wasn't walking it alone. With each new person who joined her, the message of hope and love grew stronger. And as more and more hearts awakened, she realized that the prophecy wasn't just a warning. It was an invitation for humanity to reach its true potential. In the end, Samantha's strength wasn't found in changing everyone's minds, but in leading those who were ready to embrace a better future. Through her persistence, her compassion, and her unwavering faith in the message she had received, she became a beacon of hope in a world that so desperately needed it. And so, with each passing day, the movement grew, one heart, one soul at a time. As October 2024 approached, the world braced itself for the unknown. Everywhere, tensions grew like a brewing storm, intensifying in ways that felt eerily connected to Samantha's prophetic warnings. Conflicts and divisions escalated globally. Political tensions reached new highs, protests broke out, and the environment seemed to rebel, with natural disasters striking more frequently and with greater force. It was as if the earth itself was responding to the turmoil within humanity. Samantha had warned of this time, and now it was becoming a harsh reality. Communities were feeling the strain, and the uncertainty gripped nations, leaving people anxious about what might come next. Some believed wholeheartedly in Samantha's message, while others dismissed it as fear-mongering. But even those who doubted couldn't ignore the rising chaos. The unpredictability in weather patterns, the growing unrest in major cities, it all seemed to confirm what she'd been saying for so long. Amid the turmoil, Samantha stood firm, guiding those who had embraced her message. Her calm in the midst of chaos inspired hope in those around her. She knew this was the critical period. The world was rapidly approaching a turning point, and the question looming was, would humanity make the right choice? As the days of October ticked closer, the air was thick with suspense. Even skeptics were beginning to feel something was coming, something that couldn't be easily explained away. The entire world seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see how things would unfold. What would humanity choose in the face of the prophecy? October 2024 had finally arrived, and the weight of the moment hung heavy in the air. Humanity was standing on the precipice, with Samantha's prophecy echoing in the minds of millions. This was the moment, the choice that could determine the future of the world. Would people open their hearts to love and unity, or continue down the path of division and fear? The world watched, waiting for some sign, some indication of what was to come. Across the globe, people began to feel the significance of the moment, recognizing that this was more than just another day. It was as if the entire planet was at a crossroads, and every individual had a part to play in deciding which way it would go. In her community, Samantha gathered with those who had embraced her message, holding space for peace and unity. "This is it," she said softly, addressing the group around her. "Everything we've prepared for, everything we've hoped for, this is the time." Her words were met with a quiet, shared understanding. They had come so far, and now the future rested in the hands of humanity itself. Samantha's call to action grew louder, more urgent as she continued to spread her message. "We must choose love," she urged, her voice filled with passion. "This is our moment to awaken. The future is in our hands, and together, we can create a world that thrives on compassion, unity, and peace. But it starts with each of us." All around the world, there were signs of change. In some places, old enemies came together in peace, while in others, communities ravaged by conflict began to rebuild, choosing cooperation over division. The choice was unfolding, And though the path was not without struggle, the seeds of unity had been planted. The days following October 2024 revealed the outcome of humanity's choice. While the world did not undergo an instant transformation, the shift was undeniable. It was subtle, but real. A new consciousness was awakening. People were beginning to understand that their choices mattered, that love had the power to overcome fear and division. The future that Samantha had envisioned was now within reach. Acts of kindness and compassion became more common. Across the globe, people started to come together, recognizing the shared humanity that bound them. The divisions that had once seemed insurmountable were slowly being bridged, and though the journey ahead was long, the world had chosen the path of love. Samantha, now deeply connected to her mission and her community, took a moment to reflect on the incredible journey she had been on. The prophecy, the near-death experience, the hardships, and the revelations. They had all led to this point. And while there was still much work to do, she knew that humanity had taken a crucial first step toward a brighter, more unified future. Addressing her followers, Samantha shared her thoughts on the transformation they were witnessing. The prophecy wasn't just about the events of October, she said with conviction. It was about showing us the power of our choices. Love is a choice we must make every day, and now, we've seen what happens when we choose love. The transformation has begun, but we must continue to walk this path together. Her words resonated deeply, not just with her immediate community, but with countless others who had heard her message. We are the ones who create the future, she reminded them. Each of us has the power to make a difference, to live with love, to be a light in the world. This is only the beginning. With her final call to action, Samantha addressed the wider world. The transformation of humanity has started, but the journey is ongoing. We must continue to live with love, to spread compassion, to lift one another up. Together we can create the world we've all dreamed of. The power is in our hands. Let's not waste it. And with that, Samantha's mission reached a new stage, not an end, but a new beginning, as the world slowly but surely began to heal, united by love, and committed to creating a brighter future for all. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey of awakening and transformation. Samantha's story reminds us that every moment counts, and that we all have the power to inspire change in ourselves and the world around us. If you found inspiration in Samantha's journey, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more uplifting stories and insights that can help you on your path to enlightenment. Remember, together, we can make a difference, and it all starts with love and awareness. Until next time, keep shining your light.